Before we got there, that street wasn't. It was a little rougher. It wasn't the ideal place for to do business. There was some trap operations. I'll give you a little rundown of the strip before.
Yeah, that was
Um,
good. I was gonna ask that. I
there
was
was
like, how'd that place used
there
to
was a
be?
brothel there at one time. There was an illegal dispensary there at one time. The guy that I bought the shop from, he was involved in some very very heavy um, government scams, like doing some like.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Line Check Podcast. It's me, Brennan Villarreal, your host, and today I'm in the studio with Aaron Melendrez of Uptown Provisions. It's really cool to have him here. I came into this shop. I don't even know, I think it was Super Bowl day actually. Me and Sasha got some Sandos, and they're like flavor bombs going off in my mouth, and
It's true.
and I was like starving that day. I think I had like 3 or 4 sandwiches, and
You did.
I was just like, dang, this is like bomb.
Yeah.
Uptown Provisions located in Whittier. They actually just won best restaurant business
Business
in
of the
Whittier.
year.
Yeah, business
Whittier's
of the year.
business of the year of 23, 24.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really sick. Stoked for you guys.
Yeah.
Um,
No biggie.
Yeah, so I had sandwiches on Super Bowl Sunday. It was amazing. I definitely need to go back. And so why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, I was born in Whittier, California. Grew up kind of everywhere, a little bit nomadic. We grew up kind of broke, trying to figure it out. Young family. And moved around quite a bit. Anaheim, to different parts of Orange County, Diamond Bar, Walnut, back to Whittier, La Habra, up and down Whittier Boulevard to East Los Angeles, back, and a little bit everywhere. Had family in all those places. So, you know, with that goes without being said. You help each other out as a family, and that's kind of what was going on until we got our feet in the ground, and ended up just back in Whittier, where my parents bought their first house, and I went to high school kind of on like the unincorporated Whittier La Habra area, and had a natural love for food even back then. I liked to smoke a lot of weed back then when I was a kid too, so the flavors came naturally to me, and yeah, it was good times. All my aunts were cooks. There's a lot of great cooks in the family, and just kind of took naturally to the recipe. So I always found interest in being in the kitchen, especially being the smallest kid in the family. You learn real quick, if you're closest to the food, you'll eat first. So if you're outside, you're gonna get battled and pushed in the corner, and you're gonna eat whatever's left. So I like my tacos crispy, I like my beans fresh, and I like to have the most rice on my plate. So I would just sit there, wait, and get the most food.
My mom grew up with 7 siblings. She was the youngest out of the 7, and the youngest brother of that would always get like leftovers, but they would like fight for the food.
Yeah.
And the oldest brother turned out to be the biggest one.
Yeah,
The youngest one was the smallest one.
that's
He would drink like a gallon of milk
that's
and be gone
that's how
in
it
a day.
works. That's how it works. So yeah, my earliest jobs were in food. My first job was at Domino's Pizza, flipping pies and taking phone orders and putting those toppings on the pies and cutting them and boxing them up. All the shit you do at Domino's. And
I love Domino's, by the way.
shout out Domino's Pizza. When you get to order your pizza on the phone. Who does that anymore though? That's gone. um, so yes, I would like to be exonerated for being fired for cussing on the phone, since the phone no longer exists for phone orders. Yeah, I worked there. Worked at a couple other local pizza places as well. Worked at like a Roadhouse Grill even when I was a kid.
Okay, I didn't know those still exist.
Well, we still have one in Whittier. We still have
Yeah,
one. And we're
there's one off the 405 freeway, like going towards, I think, Huntington Beach or like Westminster.
Yeah.
And I always look at it, I was like, is that open or is it closed? Because it looks like the parking lot's always empty, so I'm not really sure what's going on
dude,
here.
I don't even know. I was a busboy there. It was cool. I mean, got to have unlimited French fries and whatever else I wanted on my lunch break. And yeah.
Yeah, my first job. Have you ever heard of Supermax?
Of course I've heard
Yeah,
of
that was my
Supermax.
first job. I worked there. Started off as a dishwasher, worked my way up to like kitchen manager. But it was like I
Sick.
felt like I was making bank there, and I was like working so many hours and getting
Yeah.
free food all the time, and I was like, damn, this is the life.
Th- It
And then I
is.
get free beers after work from the owner.
You're living it, living
Yeah,
the dream.
yeah, 21-year-old.
Rolled tacos, extra cheese, extra guac, extra
Yeah, yeah,
sour
exactly.
cream, a
Yeah,
mountain on top of
and also unlimited horchata or orange bang.
Oh Jesus, that's a stomach ache and a half. It's amazing though. I love that story. There wasn't a night that Supermax wasn't there for me after a night of drinking as a 21-year-old.
Yeah, it's a staple. It's a staple. My
was
dad, my whole family's been going there since when they were adolescents. So
It's
you
like
know,
a reflex to go there. It's like I need to go to Supermax. I'm drunk.
yeah, yeah. So how did opening Uptown Provisions happen? What's the story behind that? Like
So there's
inspiration to make sandwiches.
Yeah, so before Uptime Provisions, there's a whole life, and I think we can touch on that later. But yeah, I've always kind of worked incredible chef adjacent my whole career, working in beverage, and I've always been an avid home cook. And these were two things that I thought I would bring together. And sandwiches happened to be an area I felt really comfortable in, and an area I always had a very strong opinion in. I even go into delis and be like, "This isn't right. This isn't how you build a Reuben. This isn't this." And almost the same ways I felt in the beverage too. Like I was so critical of like the drinks I was drinking. I was like, "Well, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do this. If I have such a strong opinion, maybe this is what I should be doing instead of just talking shit." So, Sarah and I had moved to Whittier probably, 3 years prior to that. And kind of during COVID, everything had, like, all the opportunities had closed down. I started a nonprofit with my friends. They decided that they wanted to make that their new trajectory for our business. We all knew that that really wasn't what I wanted to do. And I went my separate ways. And the next day, I woke up for the first time in my life with nothing to do. No ace up my sleeve, no plan, but a big old bag of skills. And I was like, what the fuck am I going to do? This is so cool. Like, most people would be kind of nervous, like, oh my God, I don't have a job. I don't have this. I'm really nervous. And me, I was like, I looked at it as like, for the first time in my life, I had like, I knew a fresh life, an opportunity to do something dope. And I talked about it with my wife, and we had been living in Hollywood, in Silver Lake, in Echo Park, Larchmont area, and we always had accessibility to really great sandwiches, really great coffee, all kinds of different things that we don't really get east of the 605 freeway. So I was like, you know what? We should open a really cool market and a sandwich shop. That'd be rad. We kind of went on all these like different product locators to find like our favorite olive oils, our favorite treats, our favorite pantry staples, and we'd always look up on that product locator and see like, oh, you can get it in Pasadena. Oh, you can get it in downtown. Oh, you can get it if you drive to, Palm Springs, but nothing in this area. So we're like, I think this is where we need to do it. And sure enough, we started making a plan to move forward. I went to go look at a location. It didn't work out. I was pissed because it was like the fifth or sixth place I looked at. It wasn't it. I was walking home, and I told my wife, I was like, I'm just gonna walk. I need a minute. I'm just like kind of pissed because I thought this was gonna be a good meeting. It was horrible. I'm walking home. I get by this spot. I look in the window. It looked like fucking trash. It looked so bad. I'm like, this does. I don't see much here, but there was a for rent sign right there, and there was an A in the window. I was like, okay, well, maybe I can look past that. I'm looking inside. I called the number. The owner is like super eager to show it to me. He's like, I can have someone there in 45 minutes to show you the place. I'm like, okay. I'm in the front looking, and who drives by? My wife drives by. She was like, what? She's like, what is this? I was like, I don't know. It's a restaurant. It's for rent. And she's like, "Did you call the number?" I was like, "Yeah, he's gonna be here in 45 minutes." So I went in. It smelled like Fabuloso, and it was absolutely disgusting. But I still saw potential. I saw life. I saw a part of my neighborhood. I was like, well, we can look past this. I think there's a lot we can look past here, and maybe make something out of this.
Yeah.
So we, you know, flash forward 72 hours later, I had a place.
Yeah.
I had a place.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's awesome. I mean, what a cool fucking story though.
Yeah.
Like, also noted that you're bringing it back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, instead of going to go open like in LA or other places, you're and having something that's not in your hometown to finally bring it back here is like super cool. And having it in Whittier. Like, how does that feel? Like just opening your own shop in your hometown.
I'm gonna say this right now. I took a home game because I lacked confidence.
Yeah.
And when I do, it was my first time, my first roundabout. I was like, I'm gonna do this in my hometown. I know that like we can really use this.
Mm-hmm.
But what I didn't know is that the product eventually would be able to hold weight on so many levels, on so many scales, within so many communities, and that's the best feeling now. But also looking back at it, I'm so fucking glad I did it in my home city for my people, for everyone I grew up with, for my old homies to come in and have a sandwich, to reestablish connections, to, become a stronger like community member, get involved with like on like levels of council, like the Uptown Whittier Association, all these different levels that have like kind of like bridged me into now. It's become more than just sandwiches.
Yeah.
But it starts with sandwiches.
Yeah.
It starts with good food. I earned the trust with food.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nothing like better than building your community from your business, and also bringing in new business to the area. Making people want to maybe open a new space because they're inspired by you.
I really hope that's what's happening.
I mean, it was popping when I went there. And it's Super Bowl.
It's always popping.
Yeah,
that place
it was
is
fun.
So cool.
Everyone was just like coming in. It was busy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of energy going on.
Yeah.
It's like a really cute shop too. Like that area is like super nice. Is it an historic area? A lot of the houses look pretty old.
It's in Uptown Whittier. However, we kind of have our own little slice of Uptown Whittier. We're not like in the main historic core of the business district. We're kind of tucked on the outskirts of it. Before we got there, that street wasn't. It was a little rougher. It wasn't the the ideal place to do business. There was some trap operations. I'll give you a little rundown of the strip before.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that. That's like how that place used to be.
There was a brothel there at one time. There was an illegal dispensary there at one time. The guy that I bought the shop from, he was involved in some very, very heavy government scams, like doing some like women and children's EBT scams that were just absolutely horrendous, selling like moldy reverse osmosis water, selling like illegal calling cards to Mexico, you name it, dude. Like every hustle ever.
Wow.
When I cleaned that place out, that store originally, like I was like throwing out like all expired food that he just had on the shelf as a front for his operation, So I do feel like, like even in that process, like I really did the community a favor as far as like getting rid of something that brought like this negative energy to the city. And replacing it with something, something beautiful, something genuine.
Yeah, you changed that whole block, basically.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Me and my couple of neighbors, I think that we've done a great job of really making that little part of Uptown ours. And it's been really nice to see.
That's awesome. What are your favorite sandwiches on your menu?
Whew. The favorite sandwiches on my menu. I think at the moment, I believe that the meatball sandwich is my favorite sandwich. That meatball is really, really cool. Before I created a meatball sandwich, I really internally like aired my grievances with meatball sandwiches every time I eat one. I was like, what do I hate about meatball sandwiches? And I had so many things because obviously it's always something that like I love to eat, you know.
Meatball sandwich is one of my favorite sandwiches. I love a good meatball sandwich.
Yeah, you know, it's always like, you know, I will say that you know, my first pet peeve of a meatball sandwich is always the ground. It can be a little too coarse at times, and for a sandwich, it doesn't always work for me. And I think that's just because they're just reusing meat that was from something else and just putting a bow on it, calling it a sandwich, and that's fine. But our meat is actually made for the sandwich, and it's always just, you know, just beef or just not the right, you know, not the right ratio. Ours is veal, pork, and beef. I like it like that, double ground, extra fine. So that was the key. That was one of the keys for me. Having the right tomato sauce, the right balance of acid, the right amount of sweetness from the tomatoes, you know, the right amount of garlic, basil, everything else in that sauce. We use Bianco tomato sauce, which they sent to us in a food service size. I don't make it. I don't have the time, and I go through way too much of it. So we use that. I think that they've already nailed it, and the wife, you know, why fix it?
Exactly.
It ain't broken. It works just fine for Bianco. So.
It's like I say, why make Dijon when they already perfected it?
It's already perfected.
Yeah,
Exactly. We work with a local cheese purveyor called Joya, and they're just absolutely incredible. It's one of my favorite relationships in everything we do. They make this affumicata smoked mozzarella for us there. It's just beautiful. We use that. It's melted on top, some parm inside of it, and then I make that little pesto aioli on top of it. And I think I told you the story once. It was just like when I was, you know, growing up, I would go get a Subway sandwich, meatball, and I would ask for a little bit of mayo on it because I always felt like the acid was a little too much, and I needed a little bit of cream to kind of balance that out. So I kind of like, I wanted pesto, but I also wanted that element. So I'm like, I'm gonna make a little pesto aioli, just do a light little smear on top of it.
It works.
It works.
Yeah,
it works.
it's very good.
Yeah.
And yeah,
and
it
that
just
little
like
Italian
it helps
crunch.
just bring balance and like cut through the acid.
Yeah.
And just give it a little fattiness besides like the
Yeah.
cheese part, but
And that little Italian crunch mix that you do on top of it. Yeah. And then, you know, Jesse from Hey Brother Baker, God bless him. Wouldn't be, that's a whole other story. I'm going to cry right now. Love him.
Also, congratulations on their new brick and mortar that's going to be opening
cool.
soon. Yeah.
So cool. He made this like soft baguette for that sandwich, you know, that absolutely works perfect for it. You know, taking his like, you know, his artisanal old world bread styles that he does so well, but then bringing it into like this almost like banh mi style roll. So it has a little bit of extra to it, but it's not too much, and it's still very edible. So, you know, so that's my first favorite sandwich. Second one, egg salad's dope. Prime rib and brisket sandwich is incredible as well. And then our chicken curry.
I didn't have that one.
You will.
That one sounds good. The
Yeah.
egg salad sandwich, though,
Yeah.
it's a sleeper.
Sleeper.
I wasn't going to order it, and then you gave it to me.
Yeah.
And my girlfriend Sasha wanted to get it, and I was like, oh, let's get a different sandwich. I want all the meats.
Yeah.
Send us the egg salad, and I was like, wow, this one might be the one.
It's a hug.
I was like, this is a sleeper.
It's so funny. That was the first.
Especially with when you told me to add the sriracha to it.
Oh man.
I was like, this elevated the game.
Yep. Hui Fong products just went on pause again
Oh, really?
until September.
Wow.
So they got us comfortable again, got us all happy. And you know what? Honestly, like even after the recipe change of, you know, moving away from Underwood Farms, I still like it. I thought it was still great. You know, wasn't exactly the same, but like, you know what? In seasonality, in terroir, in anything else in this world, what the fuck is the same after 3 seasons?
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, so it changed, but I still like the formula. I like the amount of garlic that they use in it, but now they're taking it away from us until September. Again.
Damn. Did not know.
I'm not gonna cry.
Everybody, hold on.
Now you know. Hold on. So
it's okay.
Hold those bottles.
Yeah.
Do not let them go. So yeah, those are my favorite sandos right there. Egg salad, once again, big hat off to Jesse on that brioche. I think he does some of the most phenomenal brioche bread.
They do. That brioche is delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so good.
Have
I've
you
used
had it in
before.
the buns?
I've had it in the buns. Yeah, I order it. I did a pop-up,
Jesus.
and I made my version of a roast beef sandwich, Arby's roast beef sandwich.
Yes.
And it was fire.
Yes.
I made like a banana ketchup Arby sauce.
I love that.
Some just like shaved crispy onions.
Yep, I know. It lives in Long Beach. He uses the his brioche buns in his lobster roll right now
Okay.
too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, Jesse's killing it. We're gonna get you on the podcast soon. I'm just like, my mind's just like,
you got it.
everybody like ask, and then I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get some, and I just like forget to ask.
You know
somebody.
how
yeah.
did I
And
tell
you reached out to me, and that's how I got you
Yeah.
on the
Did-
podcast. Like, there's just so many
Yeah.
people in the world.
Did
and
I
some
tell you
people-
how me and Jesse met?
No.
Okay, so flashback 2000 and I don't know 10, 11, 10
Wow,
I
that's a
think.
while ago.
I
than a decade.
I moved from Fullerton, downtown Fullerton, to West Hollywood to Silver Lake.
Mhm.
I got a job at the London Hotel. I was working at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant there, and guess who was the sous chef there?
Jesse. No.
Another well-known Long Beach chef, Phil.
Nice.
Phil was the sous chef there, and him and I obviously like we took to each other real quick, you know, just like it was like just add water, homies, you know, just like talking. I worked in the front of the house, but he had a lot of love for me.
Yeah.
And you know, shoot the shit, grab a beer, hang out, talk, whatever. You know, our friendship ended up blooming. We had a great friendship for many years, and we still do. During the pandemic, I'm getting ready to set up Uptown Provisions, and you know, Phil has Heritage, and he's doing sandwiches. And I'm like, hey, dude, like, I don't want to step on your toes or bite your style, but dude, like, that bread you get is fucking incredible. I was like, how would you feel if I hit up your baker and to see if I can use that bread too. And he was like, dude, that'd be great. You totally should.
Yeah.
So he blessed it. He linked us. And then Jesse was like, he was stoked to go on the journey with me. And that's how it started.
Hell yeah.
So
Small origins.
dude, yeah, man. And honestly, like I contribute so much of our success to that very moment. You know, that was the defining moment where I knew it was gonna be all right. I was like, we got the bread in place. This bread is the most important part. You know, I can work around everything else. I can figure it out. I can compromise. I can get creative, but the bread is the one part that I can't.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? And we got that bread in the house. Worked with it, and
Game
the
over.
rest is history, bro. The rest is history.
That's awesome. Yeah. It's crazy how small of a world the industry can be. And you know, I went to this my chef Nico from Lucida, shout out, one rising star chef. We went to the after party. There's like literally all the chefs that won it, and then all like industry people that worked at those restaurants, and literally like everyone, mostly like everybody I pretty much knew was there or that I worked with before, and it was just like funny to see like all these people in one place. And I was like, maybe I'll hit you up something for someday, or maybe you'll hit me up someday for something. But yeah, sure. it's fun.
You know, that's the main piece of advice I always have for young chefs, young cooks, young people in my kitchen, you know, whoever it is that works for me. And it's like, hey, like, you know, you burning this relationship might not affect you tomorrow. And when you tell me to fucking eat a dick because you got a new job, but I guarantee you will see me again in your journey. If you're going to stay in food and beverage, you will see my face again, and I will have one of these for you. So, you know, it's one of those things like the great people, it starts like this, but it does this at the top. We all fucking know each other. We all know each other. At some point, when you're
at the end of the day, it's all gonna come crawling back to you as much as you don't want it to. But yeah, never burn bridges. Just for, you know, like you said, young chefs.
Just bow gracefully. And, you know, take that road and
do your 2 weeks and leave like. You know, you want them to remember you, not to forget you. So leave on your best terms, not your worst.
Yeah, I had one yesterday. That's like I'm out. I have a shift scheduled at my other job, and I'm leaving. I'm like, good luck, man. Yeah. Good luck with that.
Best to you.
Yeah.
Okay. I was having a talk with one of my chefs, Nico, and he was telling me, when you write emails, what do you end your email with? Thank you, sincerely. Best.
THXA. A.
Do you think that comes off like
That means I'm busy.
Busy.
That means I'm busy.
That's a sign that you're
I got
busy.
shit to do.
Because I heard best is kind of like
Best is condescending.
Yeah.
Best is condescending.
And I told him, I was like, yeah, that seems kind of like, I always say cheers because it's like, yeah, cheers.
Cheers, but then I don't want you to think I'm a drunk. You know,
Cheers.
I'm already, you're already trying to paint your picture. You know, I'm always just like, thank you, thanks.
Yeah.
Abbreviated thanks.
Yeah.
You know,
Thanks if I'm, the abbreviate if you're extra busy.
Yeah, exactly. From my phone.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
I can't tell you the last time I actually wrote emails from my computer though.
I don't have a computer. I do
Yeah.
everything from my phone. If anyone's wondering, it's phone emailing is exhausting.
Yeah, you're actually pretty good at emails. You're pretty fast. You kind of treat it
I
like
try
text.
to
You're
be
kind of
fast.
like a text emailer, which is
Yeah.
cool.
Try to be.
Yeah, I'm not really. Honestly, we've done emails for so long. I feel like I've just like they've become intolerable. And I'm just over them, and I get nothing but bad news from emails now.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want nothing to do with it anymore. I just want to text people. I had I was trying to pick up some product for an event the other day, and this girl, she's like, I heard that you don't like to text, you're more of a talker. I'm like, yes, I just want to get this out of the way. I don't want to text back and forth with you. Like,
talking is way faster.
Jump on a 2-minute call and just hash this out real fast, so I don't gotta ever text you.
And emotions get lost in the sauce in text.
Especially with your partner.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't mean it like that.
That's not what I was saying.
Yeah, it wasn't coming all that way. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So I follow you on Instagram, obviously, and I saw that you enjoy working out.
I do. I think I've gone in like spurts in my life of healthy, unhealthy. Like all of us, you know, we're all susceptible to our environments and our jobs and whatever else is going on. But one thing I've always that's always been my North Star is just like finding my health and keeping my health and being strong and being able to fuck shit up on a dime, you know. And that's always been kind of how I felt about life. And I feel like if you have your health in order, the rest of your priorities kind of fall really well behind them. So yeah, I do love training. I do all my training in my home gym, running. I have a couple people that in my life that they let me go to catch some workouts at their house. Yeah, it's been a fun journey, and I really enjoy just having physical fitness as part of it.
Yeah. How do you keep the balance between like having your own restaurant and then also finding time to work out?
Look, it's
just a choice.
I'm glad you asked that. And there's no real secret to all this. It's just getting your ass up and getting your ass in motion. You know, 50% of my workouts, I don't feel like doing them. You know, I'm not like some fucking like Tony Robbins fucking, Jocko Willink fucking guy that's just like up at 5:30 in the morning, fucking ultra productive human. But I do understand that like you have a choice to sit on the couch or go work out, and you'll never regret that decision once you go do it. You might be bitching halfway through that workout still, but eventually you'll get into it. And it's just, you just have to do them.
Yeah, it's a choice.
You just have to get out there, and you always feel better the next day. It's always great to, like I know how that feeling is when I wake up in the morning. I look at myself in the mirror after I went to fucking Tito's Tequila Bar till fucking 4 a.m, versus when I went to the gym and worked out for 2 hours. How I look at myself in the mirror in the morning, and I think that first glance at yourself of the day is the most important one. It's how you value yourself and how you feel about yourself, and it sets the tone for a lot of things. So I try to make sure that one makes the most sense for me.
Yeah, and you definitely have a lot of like more natural energy.
You do.
Just like coming off of your brain, you just like feel clean, you know?
Absolutely.
It's hard to explain, I've been there where I've worked like till 2 a.m. at the restaurant I was working as like a line cook, and then I'd get home super late, and then it's like maybe go drink out, try to make last call or whatever it was, and then just wake up late and then like be at work at 1 p.m. and do it all over again, and it's like that laziness to like not really be mobile, until I just get to work, and it's a choice,
It's so funny you mentioned that. It's so much easier to stuff a whole pizza in your mouth after you haven't worked out versus when you have worked out. There's like this like added sense of accountability that kind of comes into your day now. Like, well, I don't want to eat all that. Like, I just fucking worked out. I just ran, 6 miles. Like, I don't, like I need to eat a little healthier now. And if that's what's going to be the buffer between me eating like an asshole versus not, and sign me up. I'll do a workout.
Yeah, and then also like I love the way I feel when I'm working on the line, just feeling so strong.
That's
like my
it.
legs feel like they can last all day.
That's a good point. Like the people that are always like, I'm so tired. It's like, well, I know this seems like maybe this might seem counterproductive in your mind, but if you're actually working out and putting a lot of work on the back end, your energy levels are just naturally that much higher.
Yeah.
You're going to have more energy. You might be burning more, but you have more. So yeah, I think it's important to keep that up, especially in this industry. We're on our feet a lot. We have 8 hours straight of just like customer service, attention, and really having to give ourselves to someone else for that whole time. So it's important that you have those reserves in your tank to be able to furnish that, because it ain't gonna do itself, and all it's gonna do is make you a salty cook, a salty bartender, a salty lineman, or whatever it is you are,
or push through those hard moments when you're in the weeds, help you get out of those.
Yeah, or maybe it'll help you not snap on your boss because you got the stress out earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Go hit a punching bag or lift some super heavy weights, but just don't pull your back out like I did a couple years ago.
Totally.
Yeah, it was really good to have you on the podcast.
Glad to be here, dude.
It was awesome to have you here. I'm glad that you reached out to us. Anybody that's looking to want to be on this podcast, any other chefs or business owners, like for reals, like feel free to reach out to us and just like message us about coming on here and talking about your business or just shooting the shit, talking about fitness, talking about sandwiches. Talk about Whittier. This podcast is not just a Long Beach podcast. We are based in Long Beach, but we talk to anybody we could talk to that has like something. Everyone has something interesting to say. You know what I mean?
I do feel like we, even this being in Long Beach, like I mentioned the 605 earlier, and I'm very serious about this. Like the 605. In this whole area, we are our own community. We are like the stepchild of Los Angeles and Orange County. I consider about Whittier, Long Beach, kind of everything. We're the last ones to get mentioned in any mainstream press. And we have to create our own buzz here. And
exactly.
Our own vibe. Even though we deserve probably more than a lot of these other places, like our hype is genuine, our hype is real, our people we're from our fucking cities, so I think that the things that we do here, looking out after each other, me coming to Long Beach and talking about a Whittier business and vice versa, it does a lot. Uptown Provisions is a family-owned business from a family that employs 12 local kids that live in Uptown Whittier, that live in Whittier area, and they all are absolutely incredible at their job.
Yeah, and you're building a new generation of cooks in the city.
I'm so fucking
and you're setting them up to succeed in whatever they want to do, whether it go work like at a sick-ass restaurant in LA or maybe open up their own restaurant in Whittier.
Please don't leave me.
yeah, not yet.
We're working on part 2 of Uptown Provisions right now.
Oh, yeah.
Our second location of it. Actually, I haven't talked about this publicly yet, so here we go. We hopefully we hope within early next year to be taking on a new space and kind of I guess fulfilling our original. Our original thought of what Uptown Provisions could be, and now it's bringing on more of an outdoor space and bringing in more alcohol. Beer and wine. Kind of combining my beverage background now with food, and then having more of a family-oriented area now, bringing in some ice cream into the concept. A lot of cool shit. I'm excited.
I'm excited for you guys.
It will be cool. It will be cool to kind of have that and add that, and even have something that's in a location in Whittier that no one would expect. Nobody. It's such a cool little place. So
hell yeah. If you guys just go to Uptown Provisions, make the trip out there to Whittier.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you it will be worth it.
It will be.
It's worth it. Go there, please. Just do it.
Come by, say what's up. I'll probably be at the door like a Walmart greeter. Take a tip of my hat to you. I really don't get to make sandwiches anymore. I get kicked off the line by my team. I'll try and make a sandwich. They're like, don't you got something better to do? I'm like, yeah, I do actually. I gotta go now. But no, they're absolutely, each and every one are forces at their job. So it's really cool to watch them actually handle it, and I get to kind of focus on the bigger picture for what is Uptown Provisions. And when you come in, you will see that. You will see my team treat you with, great hospitality, make you feel incredible in and out the door, bring you a product that looks like you did on Instagram, and you'll hopefully the experience, top to bottom, is just everything that you need.
Yeah, do it, guys.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we have for today, and that's it, and that's your line check, guys. Go check out Uptown Provisions and follow them on Instagram.
Cheers, brother.
See you guys later.
Cheers.
Bye. Cheers.